Good evening, Jonathan.
I can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Dave, can you get Tristan?
I just told him. Yeah, he didn't know. But yeah, I told him.
Okay, I'm going to put up the 2022 minutes so that way everybody has an opportunity to read those as people join the meeting.
I'm gonna get off the phone and get on my computer.
Hey,
Okay, Jeremy, I made you a co-host so that way you can help.
Sounds good. Are we recording? Do we have anybody assigned to record attendees? Or do we?
That would be Colin as the secretary.
yeah, I'm starting writing names down.
Thank you.
I'll be able to upload this immediately after the meeting.
Thanks, Jonathan.
So I'm going to scroll down there so that people can continue to read the minutes.
We'll give folks a couple more minutes and we'll officially call to order. All right, I think that we've had a slowdown in the number of folks coming on, so it's at 7:06 p.m. I think I'd like to call the 2023 AGM to order. I think while we're allowing folks to read through the 2022 minutes, once we've gotten through that sufficiently, I'll need somebody to look for somebody to move to approve them or have comment on it in a second. Great to see a number of names and faces on here that I don't always get to, so makes me happy. Thanks for showing up.
Jeremy and Corey and Andy. Oh my gosh, they look the same.
Ah,
Yeah, it's easier to take care of. I don't know.
You don't want to mess with something and cover it up when it just looks so right.
That's why I shaved off the full head of hair, because I always wear a hat anyway. So what's the point in paying to have it groomed?
All right, I move to approve the minutes as written.
all right, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you much.
Anybody, we should ask if anybody's in opposition, otherwise we'll approve it as is. You think, Jeremy?
Yes, anybody have opposition to the minutes from 2022, or will approve as is? No opposition voice, so we're approving as is.
So I went past the slide that kind of outlines the agenda tonight. As you can see, it's an aggressive one, so I will try to keep us moving along as we get through the business of Northwest Soccer officials this evening. So we got the minutes done. Our harassment policy, as part of our general liability insurance, we need to remind everybody that we do have a harassment policy. It is on the website underneath the documents. It does outline that if you feel that you're being harassed by a fellow referee, an assigner, coaches, etc., it does outline the process in which you can file a complaint to any of the board members in order for that to be investigated. So if you have anything in that area that you feel like you might meet that criteria, I encourage you to look at the policy and then follow the process to report that appropriately. I think it's important that as the diversity of our players, coaches, referees, administrators increases, it's important that we respect that and that we do not create issues in regards to diversity underneath ethnicity, gender, or age. Again, if you feel that there is an occurrence in which diversity is not being valued, I encourage you to follow the harassment process to be able to go to a board member and raise your concern in regards to somebody not valuing diversity within our organization and the organizations that we serve. I think that to add just a little bit here, I know that sometimes issues can arise on the playing field in regards to players. I know that gender is an area in which has created some challenges for players, referees, administrators, etc.
That those people are.
I encourage you that if you run into a situation, it's really about us just administering the league's rules and following them, and under the premise that allowing players to be able to play is really what the goal is in us officiating games. I think I'll pause for a second to see if anybody has any questions about those two items tonight. Jeremy, you got the chat. Are you able to monitor that for me? Jeremy's either on mute or he's not monitoring the
Yeah,
chat.
I am monitoring the chat. I was like, I have to remember, you just can't see me in that position every time.
No.
I could be anywhere. No, I've got it, Bob.
Cool, thank you. Northwest Soccer Official does help sponsor referees in regional travel. The board approved a sponsorship program a couple of years ago. This is how it works. It's based off of game count. So if you meet these game count thresholds in the left column, you can be given the sponsor amount in the right column. And this would be for events that occur outside of Washington, being Far West Regionals, President's Cup, ECNL events, etc. It does only pay out once per year, though.
Is that hey, this is Andy, is that a NSO game count or a statewide game count?
NSO game count.
Thank you.
And how would you find out how many you've done other than asking you?
I would encourage you to go underneath your accounting tab in on the website, and that would tell you how many games you officiated in a certain time period. Safe sports and electronic communications, for those of you who are involved in the player coaches side of athletics, you're probably quite familiar with this. I know all of the adults, when you went through your safe sport training, you had to review the information in regards to electronic communications. Just want to remind everybody of our responsibilities in regards to adults communicating with minors. And really the rule of thumb and requirement here is that adults will need to include a second adult when communicating with a minor electronically, and that can be a parent or guardian of the minor, a fellow assigner, and or a referee. So if you're a referee on a match as an adult and you're communicating with the rest of your crew, which may include a minor, you need to make sure that you have another adult on that communication. If you have two minors that are on your game, then you may want to include the assigner and or one of their parents on that communication that you're having with them. This also works the other way in regards to when minors are communicating with adults. And so those minors that do communicate with your assigners via text, please, when you do that, include another assigner and or your parents on the communication. That way we meet the requirements around safe sports. Any questions in regards to electronic communications to meet our safe sport requirements?
How would you know if an individual is a minor or not?
I don't think as a referee, you may know that. I know the assigners have the ability to see it on the assigner side. So what I would encourage you to do is make sure you've included another adult on that communication, which probably is a good thing to include the assigner of the match that you're communicating about. Any other questions on safe sports electronic requirements? Okay. We would like to have everybody be more consistent in regards to completing a few fields on the website underneath your profile. This is very helpful for especially our assigners as Northwest Soccer Officials continues to grow and bring in more and more referees. This information can be very useful to assigners in helping process your game request. So I encourage you on your profiles, one, something about you so that the assigner kind of knows your relationship with soccer currently and or in the past. I also encourage you under the notes to put information in regards to kind of your referee career. So that way the assigner can quickly look to see what are some of the types of games you may be officiating, how long you've been officiating, what grade you are, etc. And lastly, we would really like to have some pictures of you, a picture. That way we can visually, when we're out on the soccer pitch, we may have a better chance of being able to recognize you. That's way when referees show up to the field, you'll be able to find who you're looking for. Pictures are good that we can actually see your face. Some people on the website, the pictures could be improved. So that way, when somebody's actually out on the pitch, they would be able to recognize you from your picture. So please, everyone, take some time here in the next week or so to go in, update your profile, add this important information, and make sure you got a picture in which we can recognize you.
Richard, can I make a comment real quick on that?
Yeah.
It's really important for us assigners, because I'm really good at recognizing the face, but not so good with remembering names. So that's also, I don't know if, did you say that? If you did, sorry, but I want to put that in there. Thanks.
Cool. Okay. Next, we're going to hit the executive director report. I'm just going to give some highlights and kind of the state of Northwest Soccer Officials. So over the last few years, we've kind of had some goals as an organization in which that we want 99.5% of our matches to have at least a center referee. And we would like to have 98% of our matches with full coverage. You'll see that we're not quite there in 2022. That top table lays out the number of games per month, the games that didn't have a full crew, and then you'll see the games that didn't have an official at all. So we had 90 games out of our 12,348 games that did not have a referee on it, which was 0.7%, which is just 2% beneath the goal that we had set. We are up at the about 4% of games that didn't have complete full coverage in 2022. But you'll see that that's down from 11% in 2021. We actually in 2020, and maybe that's not a good year to choose since we only did a couple months of games that year, but in 2019, you'll see that we actually had only 2% of our games that did not have full coverage. So in the last year, we've done a great job of improving our percentage of games with the full coverage, and we'll hope that in 2023, we'll continue to see that increase. In regards to our number of referees that we have, we kind of try to count it in two ways here. One is that we look at how many referees we have registered on the Northwest Soccer Officials website, which in 2022 was 1,824, just 4 more than it was a year ago. And then the SRC row there is the number of referees that were registered in the South King County Soccer Referee Association area based on how the Washington referees website registers individual referees. So 652 is more than 2021, but we're still not to what we were in 2017 where we had almost 1,000 referees. So I encourage everyone that if you know individuals out there who might want to be a referee, you'll see by our coverage statistics for last year, we still have openings that referees could easily pick up. And so please encourage them to become a referee, and that way they can help get our games covered on the weekends. This here is pictures of all of our youth clients that we have on the Northwest Soccer Officials. And I thought it might be nice if some of the assigners would actually come on camera. So that way maybe some of the referees who haven't seen assigners in person may actually get to see a face with a name that they probably see through text messages and emails, etc. I see that Suhi's on there, who assigns WP and our Titans FC. I know the Zips were on here, and they assign Mount Rainier FC. I think I saw Ryan come in, and Ryan does the Eagle Claw. Dragons helps with the Starfire tournaments, and Cascade Premier. Did I get them all for you, Ryan?
OL Rain.
Oh, OL Rain. I don't think I have OL Rain on here. I got to add that one. Thank you.
Green Academy right up top. Does that
Next
count?
to Pac Northwest.
Oh.
And Starfire.
Yeah.
You're
There
good.
we go. Thank you, guys. I'm blind. The slide has become too busy. Let's see here. Who else? I didn't see Christian, who does Cascade Foothills Soccer Club, on there. And I think that Craig, was Craig on? Craig does our Washington. Oh, there we go. Washington Premier League, our development league that U9 and U10 that plays at Starfire, as well as their State Cup tournament events. Craig also helps with the Starfire tournaments and the Starfire Adult League. I think I saw Rachel on there who helps me with the Valor, Pac Northwest, Starfire tournaments, NITO, Pierce County Soccer Club, Still United, Bellevue Rush. Did I see Bruce? I didn't see Bruce, but I'm sure Bruce is there. He does our City of Des Moines Parks and Rec. That's a great client to get started with. And then the Zips, I forgot, they do the Auburn Parks and Rec, which is another great client for those newer referees to get started on games. Did I miss anything else? Anybody?
There's questions about Taylor and Phil.
Oh, yes. So Phil helps with Pac Northwest. Thank you, Jeremy. And then I think Taylor helped out on some of our tournaments for Craig. And then our new clients this year. So NORTAC and Sparta Tacoma, they just joined us at the first of the year. And Mike does the signing for them. I'm not sure if he's on tonight or not. And it was also then Still United. And then Bellevue Rush was our 3 new clients this last year. Oh, with City of Des Moines, they joined us in the spring. These are our high school and middle school clients, ones that we've been serving for several years. And then here's our adult clients, Cascadia Premier League. If any of you are on social media, you'll see that they've grown tremendously in the last few months. So there will be many more adult games coming up this spring. We have the Desna Cup that happens in August. If you want to see some fun and exciting soccer in a very short period of time, that's a great tournament to be involved with. And then, of course, the Evergreen Premier League, which has been around for many years in Washington and has teams all over. Kelsey Harms does the assigning for that group for us. Okay, some upcoming trainings. So the Grassroots Referee Advanced Clinic is occurring almost, I think, quarterly now. For those that are interested in taking that additional training and becoming an advanced grassroots referee, if you go onto the Washington Referees website, if you look on the right-hand side, there's actually a link that will give you instructions on how to go about registering for a Grassroots Advanced Clinic. So I encourage you to do that. I think some of how they do that clinic now is based on people getting in and completing the online training. They then are setting up the in-person class to be able to finish that, that training for the referees. For those that become Grassroots Advanced, that does increase your ranking on the NSO website, which then gives you the ability to assign to higher level games and have to request less games from assigners. We will have the high school rules clinic on February 27th as part of our monthly Zoom meeting to just kind of refocus all of us and remind us of our responsibilities in maintaining the high school game. One of the items this last year that they rolled out was in regards to harassment or discrimination on the during a high school game. We've had a couple incidents on our games, and so we'll just kind of walk through those scenarios to help us all be successful in meeting what the high school and WIAA would like us to be able to enforce for them and help them in this area. I'm hoping that there will be a pro clinic this year. Discussion has been that that will happen the first weekend of March. At that, there then would also be a fitness test. So that would be the first fitness test of 2023. I know the SRC is working towards having 4 fitness tests in 2023. They'll probably be spread out over the year and try to move them, have them in different locations of the state. So again, fitness tests are another great way to be able to have your ranking increased on the Northwest Soccer Officials website. That way, again, you can self-assign to more games on the site. I know that Jim Kritzberg is trying to do something with the Sounders and have some type of Sounders Day at an upcoming Sounders game. Give us an opportunity to go out and do a field session, and then have the referees have access to purchasing tickets. RDA, which is the Referee Development Academy that took place for many years over in Central the last weekend of July. Not sure if that will occur or not. Central Washington is still having staffing issues and being able to staff an event of that size, because we were probably one of their biggest events of the summer. And then the last thing on here is just our August high school rules clinic. Again, will be that fourth Monday of the month that will take place at our regular Zoom meetings. If you're interested in getting involved in state cups, whether that be through Washington Youth Soccer Association, I reach out to me. And if you want to get involved in the Washington Premier League state cups, Craig Allen's the person to reach out to be able to partake in those activities. And that kind of concludes my report in regards to the state of Northwest soccer officials. Later on, Ryan will give us a report on our finances. But at this point, we just want to give each of our board members an opportunity to provide any words in regards to their activities with the association this last year, as well as any activities coming up. So Jeremy, I think we start off with you.
That would be me. So yeah, I'm just very grateful to continue to work with an amazing group of folks that rotate in annually, and being part of a pretty cool community that is driving toward having more and more clients. I think part of that is driven off of the data, right? While we have a really high bar and we didn't quite hit it, is we're doing exceptionally well when we start to look around and the state, right? We want to make sure that we're leading the way there, and providing the best possible refereeing, the best possible mentorship, and then hopefully create the best possible environment for referees to get what they want, the games that they want, so they can develop. They want to become a regional, advanced grassroots, and then have all the things they need to and support they need to get there. I'm really proud of some of the things we did in terms of the newsletter this year with Ethan, our youth representative, driving the way there. And I'm just, like I say, I'm just grateful to be part of this group and try to get us out on time on our board meetings. That's one of the biggest things I try to organize, just not let it drag on. Let's get our work done and get back to doing business and growing in the ref world. So thanks for having me be your president. I'm excited to be part of it again next year. Corey?
Yeah, this year collected a bunch of jerseys from different referees that had extras, putting them together to send them to some lesser privileged areas of the world, so that they can have jerseys for their referees. And then just try to support Jeremy and Richard and the rest of the board in everything they're doing. Welcomed a bunch of new clients on and new assigners, learning to work with everybody. Just try to be that voice and that person if anybody needs somebody there that doesn't have a specific role other than to be there if Jeremy loses his mind at some point. So no, I appreciate the meetings every month. It's a great group. So I encourage everybody to show up and get involved.
Okay, Cindy.
Hi, guys. Richard covered some of the stats. I have a little different one from 652. The count that I got was 744. So I'll take the extra 50 people or so and go for it. We changed, a big change has been the 4-hour infield session. And that's where we do most of our instruction now is 4 hours on the field. And then the referees are turned loose onto games. And as a reflection of this, in 2024, the instructors, besides teaching the 4-hour on-field training session, we will be switching and putting on mentor hats and hopefully following up as mentors on games to try to get these new referees and bridge the gap from the clinic to actual game, which we've identified as a huge problem. So that's something hopefully that we can address next year in 2024 as the instructors become mentors. This has been a great group, as you've heard, and it's a very exciting group to work with because there's a lot of forward and new thinking going on here. So very happy to be here and hold the clinics that we do and reach out. And as Richard said, please, if you know of anybody that wants to become a referee, have them get a hold of the director of instruction. Thank you.
So next will be Director of Recruitment and Retention, which is now Bruce. Bruce, you around?
Yeah. Sorry, I cannot show the face. I catch the cold last week and I having trouble with it. So I make it short.
Okay.
I became to the Director of Recruitment and Retentions a few months ago because of the JJ stepped down. So I stepped in, and which is it's pretty interesting and learn many things. And but it's very nice, and everybody try to support me. And hopefully I could continue to do that and try to recruit many referee as possible, and as well as current referee. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
And Director of Mentoring is officially not Jonathan McKenzie, who didn't look like he was able to make it tonight, but Craig was our erstwhile one. Craig, since you spent a good portion of the year as the actual guy doing the mentoring, do you have a couple comments on that front?
I'll just say that I think we did an outstanding job this last year. And I think most importantly, due to the assigners identifying those officials that were able to really benefit from some guidance and mentoring out on the field. And our hope is that what they take away is that they're ready for that next level. They're ready to improve. They're bringing a better skill set to the game. And I'm confident that Jonathan will help usher in more of that same quality and consistency that we've seen from NSO.
Awesome, thank you, Craig. And then current Director of Communications, Mr. Simmons.
Hi, everybody. Just send me your pictures if you're out on the field, if you have the permission of everybody in the picture and it's appropriate. I'd be willing to post it on our Instagram and Facebook if you'd like that. And you can send it to our Instagram or Facebook if you can. That's really the only thing I'd say. I'm looking forward to actually doing a lot more in the next year. So, and props to Ethan for his newsletter. Anyways, that's it.
And then Director of Referee Academy, technically, Mr. Wolbert. You're out.
Yeah, I'd like to, say thank you to everybody on the board. I think they've all had a great influence in me being a referee and helping come up with a couple of ideas of how to improve everyone else and becoming better referees as a whole, not just the new referees, but people trying to make their way through grassroots advanced and regional and whatnot. Unfortunately, I've just been away a lot, so I haven't been able to help with the referee academy, but I think as a board, you got a great group of people to be able to do it. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Do we got Mr. Secretary Colin?
Yeah, it's been a good year. I really appreciate all the work that Jeremy, Richard, and every single board member has put in. I'm looking to get one more in the election over here, hopefully on the board. But no, otherwise, I just want to say that with all especially with all the new clients we've added, I think we've had really good coverage rates. And yeah, I think that's about it. So it's been a pleasure serving with everybody, and I got at least another year. So let's keep doing it.
Cool. Well, thank you, sir. And the directors at large, as Bruce mentioned, he moved recently over to the recruitment and retention director position. And unfortunately, other director at large, Peter, is not with us tonight. And Ethan, we do have you.
Wait, we have Cameron.
Oh, Cameron.
Hi, Jeremy.
Silly man that I am. I apologize. Cameron, please go.
You're good. It's been a productive year for everyone at the board. We've gotten a lot of stuff done, a lot of good things accomplished, and I think we're all looking forward to going into 2023 with a good group of people to get even more accomplished. So looking forward to it.
All right. So now I'll say, Ethan, our youth representative that was able to make it really consistently and do a fine job from my estimation. What have you have to share with us tonight?
I think 2022 went pretty well here. After we did get that one newsletter out late August, I think it went pretty well. We're still trying to push out that second newsletter. It'll hopefully be coming soon. I remember also running a project here to attempt to recruit members for referees at like a local high school within my area. For like a little newsletter. Yeah, I'm looking forward to a good year 2023. Maybe take another position back on the board, but yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Ethan. I think that rounds us up. Richard.
Yep. I don't know if Elmer was on or not.
No, he doesn't look to be
I don't
on.
see him.
Yeah.
Yep. So we will, I know Elmer continues to help us keep our website up and running and keep our costs low by keeping us purging the data and watching our usage. I know the technology probably isn't the most modern of websites, but it does function and get us the ability to post games and get them assigned. So appreciate everyone's patience with the technology. So in 2022, we did start a monthly NSO training over Zoom, occurring the fourth Monday of the month at 7 o'clock. We usually last probably about an hour to 90 minutes. I know that many people on here has participated over the last year. We usually get anywhere from 30 to 50 participants live, and we usually get about another 75 people watching the recording. So it seems to be a pretty popular little event. Please, we plan to continue them on in 2023. Encourage you to set your fourth Mondays of the month aside for about an hour to be able to get some time in learning about what's going on in the referee community, often getting some video clips off of some of our games that happen in our local area, and then be able to just listen to the questions that our referees have and the issues that they're dealing with on the pitch. So please participate with us in 2023. So with that brings us to our elections tonight. And we have these positions that are open for election, and we will go through them one at a time. You're going to have to be patient with me in regards to utilizing our technology to do the voting. Hopefully I've set us up to be able to somewhat go smoothly, but your patience would be appreciated. Jeremy, do you want to facilitate the election process, or do you want me to?
Why don't you go ahead and I'll make sure that I'm monitoring the chat. That's okay?
That works for me.
Cool.
Okay, so The first position that we have tonight is Vice President. The Vice President, this is the job description that comes with the Vice President straight out of our bylaws. I figured it would be easiest if I just put out there what it was for each of the positions as we go through this tonight. So with the the description of the position, I will open it up for anybody to nominate any individual for the position of Vice President. Craig has raised his hand.
I would like to nominate Corey, please.
Corey, do you accept the nomination?
Not at this time. Thank you, Craig. I appreciate that.
In that,
But in replacing me, I would nominate Suhi.
Okay. Suhi, do you accept the nomination?
I had to find my mute button. Yes, I'll accept the nomination. Thanks, Corey.
Okay, I'll open it back up for continue the nominations for Vice President. Do I have any other nominations for Vice President? Okay, this will be my last ask for nominations for Vice President. Okay, we will close it with one individual nominated for Vice President. So at this point, we can just do a straight, and I can't remember what the technical term is from Robert's Rule of Order, so.
Acclamation.
It's by acclamation.
acclamation.
Thank you.
That was the magic word, acclamation.
Is anybody opposed of having Suhi put in the position of Vice President by acclamation? Okay, congratulations, Suhi. You are now the Vice President. Next, we have the Director of Instruction. With the Director of Instruction, this is the description in which comes out of our bylaws. At this point, I will open the floor for nominations, in which I see Craig has raised his hand again.
I'd like to nominate Taylor Vance.
Taylor Vance, do you accept the nomination for Director of Instruction?
I will, yeah.
Okay. Is there any other nominations for the Director of Instruction position?
Craig has his hand raised.
Okay,
I put my hand down.
any other nominations for the Director of Instruction? Okay, this will be the last call for a nomination for Director of Instruction. Okay, with having just one nomination for the Director of Instruction, I would like to move that we put Taylor in that position by acclamation unless there is anybody who opposes that. Okay, congratulations, Taylor. You are now the Director of Instruction. Next, we will move to the Director of Recruitment and Retention. Again, here's the description of the position in the bylaws. At this time, I would like to open up the floor for any nominations for the Director of Recruitment and Retention.
I would like to nominate Bruce Sugiyama.
Okay, Bruce, do you accept the nomination?
Yes.
Okay. I'll call for any nominations for the Director of Recruitment and Retention. Okay, my last call for Director of Recruitment and Retention. Okay, we'll close the nominations. I would like to move forward with putting Bruce in the position of Director of Recruitment and Retention by acclamation, unless there is anybody in opposition of that. Okay, congratulations, Bruce. You're stuck with us for another 2 years.
Thank you.
Okay, next is our Director of Referee Academy. Here again is what the description is for the Director of Referee Academy. At this time, I will open the floor for any nominations for Director of Referee Academy.
I'd like to nominate Cody Chanthamong.
So I don't think Cody meets the requirements because you have to be a regional or emeritus referee.
I mean, I'm emeritus, sorry.
What?
Oh, you said emeritus, I was celebrating, never mind, sorry.
I'd like to nominate Tyler Lipton.
I will definitely second that.
Okay, Tyler, do you accept the nomination?
Hello, I decline respectfully.
Lipton. Was it because I yelled at you on the sideline on Saturday?
That was exactly the reason.
Okay.
Go see.
I can't find the hand button. I'd like to nominate Cody Zip for that position. Does he qualify?
Yes, Cody does qualify for this position.
Then I'd like
Technically
to
or
say that
literally?
again.
I will
Cody,
accept.
you'll accept?
Yes.
I second that nomination.
Okay, this is going to be my final request for nominations for the Director of Referee Academy. Any further nominations for Director of Referee Academy? Okay. With only having one nominee, I would like to move forward with putting Cody in the position by acclamation, unless there is anybody who opposes that. Okay, Cody, congratulations. You now are the Director of Referee Academy.
Thank you.
Next is our 2 youth representatives. So based on our youth representatives, you do have to be under the age of 18 at this time. We would, based on, depending upon how many nominations we have, if we have to go to a vote, the only individuals who can vote for these 2 positions are those that are participating under the age of 18. So anybody over would not be able to vote. At this time, I would like to open the floor for any nominations for youth representative.
I will nominate Ethan Driscoll.
I will accept that.
Okay, is there any other nominations for a youth representative?
Are there any other youth representatives at the meeting or youths, eligible people at the meeting? Do they want to identify themselves?
I'd nominate Devin Bjorn.
Right here.
I think Devin found the, did you find the fountain of youth, Devin?
Sorry.
I did not.
Oh, I'm one of the Bjorn children. Sorry, Devin.
I think you're thinking of Preston.
There we go.
Yeah.
My bad, Devin. We have been in class together. I don't
I
have.
appreciate that, but I am
There you go. Now
45.
I
I'm
know.
close.
I feel you, brother.
Richard, I believe, is Cesar Huerta on this call? I'd like to nominate Cesar. Thought he was.
Hey, this is Andy. I see Diana's on there. I don't know if Diana has been reffing long enough, but I'd nominate her.
For my
Caesar's little
nomination,
sister.
I'd like to decline it.
Okay, so Cesar declined the nomination, Colin, thank you.
No problem.
But I think I just heard Andy nominate Diana.
Yes, sir.
Diana, do you accept the nomination or do you decline it? She can't get off mute fast enough.
You can use chat if needed.
Thank you, but I would decline it.
Okay, I think I heard from that it was a decline.
Is Marley a youth? I think she is.
No, she is not.
I'm gonna shut up now.
That is highly advised, Jeremy.
I know. See, I'm not an assigner. I'm just a guy.
He just looks young.
Okay, Cameron.
I'd like to nominate Jesus Salcedo.
Jesus, do you accept the nomination?
I accept the nomination.
I didn't see his name on there. I'll second that.
I accept the nomination.
Okay, perfect. I put you on there, Jesus.
I'd like to nominate Grayson Guy.
Are they on the phone are they on the meeting to accept?
Yes.
Okay, say that name again for me.
Grayson, Graysen, Guy, Guy.
Okay,
Grayson does a lot of games for us down at Premier, and it plays for WP as well.
I still messed up Grayson's first name.
You did. Graysen.
Thank you.
There's no
apologize.
C. It's not a C, it's an S.
Ah, there we go.
Thank you.
That's what, yeah, thank you, Chris. Okay, do I have any other nominations for youth representative? Okay, this is my last call for a youth representative.
I move that we close nominations.
I second that motion.
Okay, perfect. We're going to close the nominations. So now, based on this, I don't know if the three of you want to give us a short 30-second shout out in regards to what you would like to do as youth representative on the board. Ethan, since you served on the board, we'll give you the first chance there.
Sure thing, Richard. So I've already started on the board. So you guys have heard I have done the newsletter. I'd like to, in 2023, I'd like to continue that newsletter. Maybe try to push it out a little more frequent here. And I'd also like to go try to work with recruiting more referees because game coverage has been a problem more recently, especially in some of the early months and some of the later months. I like to try to get more of that game coverage up here as well by helping recruit some of those more referees.
Okay, thank you, Ethan. Jesus?
Of course, I'm guessing you guys already know me as a guy that's always out there doing 5, 6, 7, or 8 games a day. So, like always, I'm just trying to build connections with the youth, get everything going again, get more youth out there, especially.
Okay, great. Thanks, Jesus. Okay, Grayson, your turn.
Well, being a member of a very prideful soccer club, I'm around a lot of people that enjoy the game and take it very serious. And so I think that it would be a great spot to find new referees and referees that already know the game a little bit. I would be willing and open to doing everything and anything that you guys send my way, and I'll do it with A+ quality.
Okay, thank you, Grayson. With that, we are going to go to the polls. So when I launch this poll, those referees that are under the age of 18 will be able to select a candidate, and the candidates are based on the numbers next to their name. And so you'll see you can either choose 1 being Ethan Driscoll, you can choose 2 being Jesus, or 3 being Grayson. So those of you who are youth members, if you could go ahead and vote, that would be fantastic. Okay, I think we probably have the youth members on that have voted. I see that it's ended. So with that, we will share the results, I think, here. And we
got a 3-way tie.
got a
Every
three-way
pirate
tie.
voted for themselves.
Oh. Okay.
Voted for each other.
That is definitely.
Maybe things will change on the second ballot.
There we go. Yeah, I guess I don't have any other way to go with this besides us going with another vote. Again, those that are under the age of 18 are the ones that are able to vote. Let me try this again, if I could.
Was I supposed to vote 1 or 2? Some fun commentary.
I think the coin flip was perfect.
Kicks from the mark, Wayne says. Exactly. That's what we have to do. Arm wrestle, new speeches. Was I supposed to vote for 1 or 2? You know.
Richard, have we ever had a 3-way tie for any ballot?
No.
Not in my tenure.
I do not believe so. Okay, I'm going to end the poll. And based on ending the poll, we now have winners. I'd like to congratulate Ethan Driscoll and Grayson Guy as your youth representatives for Northwest Soccer Officials. So congratulations. Thank
so
you,
much.
everyone. Okay. Next position is let's see if I can make this happen. I got too many things going on my screen now. There we go, Director at Large. So the directors at large attend the board meetings. We will be voting for 2 people when you do the voting. The top vote getter of the poll will be in a 2-year term, and the second vote getter will then be in a 1-year term. So that's kind of the process there. With that, I will open up the floor for nominations.
I would like to nominate Patrick Boding.
Do you accept, Patrick?
I do.
I'd like to nominate Cameron Zip.
Do you accept the nomination, Cameron?
I will.
And I had a write-in nomination. He couldn't be here tonight, but Adrian Guta, who was interested in being part of the board as a director at large.
I'll nominate Alex Wilbert.
Do you accept the nomination, Alex?
I accept.
I would like to nominate Brandon Corner. He's not here right now, but I know he would love to be back on that board again.
Yes, and Brandon did reach out to me and confirm that he would accept that nomination. Is there any other nominations for director at large?
Because I'm a silly guy, I nominate Tyler Lipton.
Tyler, do you accept that nomination?
I'm so flattered, but I respectfully decline.
Okay, I see Craig Allen's hand raised.
I'd like to nominate Rachel Meeks.
Okay, Rachel, do you accept that nomination?
Sure.
Okay, do I have any other nominations?
I gotta have at least one maybe work. Inga Newberger.
Okay, Inga, do you accept the nomination for director at large?
Thank you very much, but I respectfully decline. Thank you.
Fine.
I would like to nominate Phil Berg.
Okay. Phil, do you accept the nomination?
There's too much competition and I can't stand rejection, so I respectfully decline.
I just wanted to hear how he was going to decline. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to call for the last time any other nominations for director at large. Okay, I would like to stick with the approach we did for the youth representative. If each of our nominees could give us a brief 30-second speech in regards to what they would like to do as a director at large for Northwest Soccer Officials. Patrick, since you're number 1, you get to go first.
My name is Patrick Bodine, for those of you who don't know me. I've been a referee for 7 years, going to multiple regional events, DA events, been on the board, held it director of mentoring when Federal Way FC was around a few years ago. As director at large, I would like to get more involved in summer tournaments, help out any assigners that would need help, just be more involved, especially since I'm always around at different locations. Most of you have probably seen me on the pitch somewhere, and that's what I would do.
Okay, great. Cameron, your turn.
I would love to return to the board as a director at large. Like I said earlier during the reports, we've had a really successful year, really productive year. And I'm excited to continue that on if I get reelected. And I know that you know, we can get a lot more productive stuff done this year as well. So.
Okay, Adrian Guda, did you have something
Yeah,
from Jeremy?
His focus was on the education, the monthly meetings, and wanted to help out with some of those, and we could go through the play situations, educational videos. So he's passionate about that and helping out in that capacity if he can.
Okay, Alex, you're next.
Alex Woolwork, been a referee for 5 years. Was just recently at another ECNL event, probably 5th or 6th travel event I've done in the last 2 years. Went to regionals, went to nationals, did the ECNL finals back in 2019. I just want to be able to help out the referee community, especially the younger referees coming up, and anybody that's trying to advance kind of to where I'm at and follow that same path.
Okay, great. Thanks, Alex. Brandon, I don't know, Ethan, did Brandon have any comments he shared with you to speak tonight?
Not that I've noticed.
I know that Brandon was on our board 2 years ago in a director at large. He is in college, I want to say, in Arizona, but luckily with Zoom, he's able to help participate and help continue the organization and help out. So I think that's kind of Brandon. And then lastly, Rachel, do you want to?
Yeah, I'm Rachel. I've been a part of refereeing since I was 13, so like 10 or 11 years now. And becoming an assigner in the last year and a half or so, I would just like to keep up the good work with our coverage rates and getting new referees and retaining them in order to make for happy clients at NSO.
Great, thanks, Rachel. So as we do the voting, again, everybody, you have 2 votes that you can make when I open the poll. The numbers next to the name here will correlate with the poll numbers that are launched. So let me get us there. Okay. Okay, I'm going to give it just a few more seconds here.
Hey, Richard, I lost mine. Can you put that thing back up? Because it was covering up the numbers. Or how do I do that?
You're trying to figure out the names that correlate with
well, now I see them, but when it popped up, it covered them.
Oh,
I think he wants the poll back up.
The poll back up.
I can't relaunch the poll. It'll relaunch the whole thing.
Okay,
There's,
let me see if I
there's
can
a
figure
polls button at the bottom of your screen. Maybe that will help.
this here.
Okay. We
Oh, I
are
gotcha.
back. Okay, you got it, Andy?
Yes.
We've had 61 of 66 participants vote. I'm going to give it a second longer here. Okay. Congratulations. To Cameron Zip and Patrick Bodine as our new directors at large. Cameron will serve in the 2-year term and Patrick in the 1-year term. I gotta. Okay, thanks everyone, and congratulations to the new officers. Next, we're going to jump into our recognition for the evening. First thing that we're going to recognize is our top 2 mentors for 2022. Paul is not new to this recognition. This year he had 56 individuals that he mentored, which is greater than the 41 that he did in 2021. And Sue He is new to this category with 26 mentors. So both of them in this recognition will receive a $50 gift card from NSO in recognition of their time and energy they spent in helping our referees develop. So congratulations, Paul and Sue He.
I like Trapper Sushi for $50, FYI. Just saying.
Next is our Youth Rookie of the Year. Iker and Diana are our awardees for Youth Rookie of the Year. Both of these individuals were selected by the board in regards to the number of games that they officiated at the quality that they provide the game. And so as first-year referees, we want to recognize Iker and Diana for a fantastic job.
Hey, Richard, can I just intervene say one thing? I think she pronounces her name Diana, and she can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's Diana.
Thank you, KD. I knew I was saying it wrong. Next then is our Adult Rookie of the Year. This year we are recognizing Razvan as well as Risa. Both of these individuals started officiating in this last year and have done a phenomenal job in regards to developing as a referee, as well as assisting the organization in being able to help cover many games as officials. Next is always a category that I know many within Northwest Soccer Official strives to achieve. This is our top game count. The male and female in each of these categories being adult and youth will receive a $50 gift card as well. So it's just the top, but we do recognize the top 3 individual. So Cesar will be the first one for male. He did beat his record of last year, which was 372, and he ref 374 games in 2022. And then Jesus and Dominique are new in this category with their games as well. Diana is the top for the females with 181 games, within Morgan and Isabel not far behind. So thank you everyone, our youth referees and their dedication to being out there each weekend and week at times officiating games. For our adults in these categories, Angie Brooks took the winning again in 2022 as she did in 2021. She did do 298 games as opposed to her 247 in 21. Holly Travers actually was the top one for females as a youth last year, but is in second place for adult this year as she made that crossover. And Inga is new on the, or no, Inga was also third last year, and she beat her 94 games this year with 128. And Chris, congratulations. Your time and energy of officiating for Northwest Soccer officials paid off. You did come in first place with 355. I know this was Chris's goal for 2022, and you achieved it, so congratulations, Chris. Ben was there not far behind by 10 games. And then Colin continues to be in our top 3. This year, 337 games as opposed to your 231 last year, Colin. So congratulations, everyone there. Our next category is our Adult Referee of the Year. And this year we are recognizing 2 individuals who dedicate a lot of time and energy in officiating for Northwest Soccer officials. First, our female Adult Referee of the Year is somebody that I met a few years back. Actually, she was playing soccer and I was officiating her game. And I just want to congratulate Inga Newberger of being our Adult Female of the Year. Inga, we appreciate not only all the games that you cover, but the role that you set for our female referees within the organization of what they can do as a female official. I appreciate your continued dedication by leading by example of being a regional referee and officiating at the collegiate level. I also appreciate your time and energy that you put in helping our other referees grow as referees and are always willing to provide candid feedback to help them improve as officials and to be able to improve our services to our clients. Our male referee of the year, I'm sure many of you have all officiated with him. Alex definitely is out there on a lot of games for Northwest Soccer officials. I know if you've done a tournament game, you've probably done a game with Alex. Alex is out there doing 5-6 games a day, being able to help us get our games covered. Alex is great at being able to engage his players and spectators in his officiating and servicing the game while providing entertainment. So Alex, we appreciate all that you've done for Northwest Soccer officials, and thank you and congratulations. Our next then is our Youth Referees of the Year. So our youth referees, the 2 that we have, the board has selected, will actually be forwarded on to the state to be considered as the state's Youth Referee of the Year representative that then goes to regionals. So this year, our Youth Referees of the Year is first Ethan Driscoll, who many of you have probably officiated with. I know that Ethan has spent many weekends out there officiating games, helping to serve the game well. Ethan's also helped in regards to the administrative side in getting the newsletter put together for the organization and trying to engage the youth referees in officiating. Our female referee of the year is Mallory Morris. Mallory has officiated a lot of games in the last year. I appreciate her professionalism and her development as a youth referee. Mallory goes out and gives it her 110% and definitely exemplifies the professionalism that we need to have in our games. So with that, our youth referees of the year, congratulations, Ethan and Mallory. So with that, that wraps up our recognition tonight. Ryan will be working on getting the arrangements in regards to each of the individuals and getting their gift cards in the next few weeks or so. With that, I'm not sure if Ryan has made it back on to be able to do his presentation or not.
I am back.
Perfect. So Ryan will now lead us through the treasurer report.
All right.
And I left you 4 minutes.
You left me 4 minutes. I'll cover it quick. So we're just going to look at a few documents here. The first being our P&L statement. If you want to click on that, Richard. So we did, when he figures out the tech, we did top 1 million this year in revenue. So that's a huge milestone for us. Obviously, with the growth of the adult leagues and increasing number of youth clients, moving over, that allows for that. We did quote operate at a loss accounting wise, mostly because we paid our referees in December and we bill our clients in January. So that was timed in that way. And overall, healthy. I'm not showing our AR. Our AR is in the best shape it's been in years, and which is just our accounts receivable, meaning clients paying bills. And so overall, good, healthy financial position to be in. So on the balance sheet side, we pay attention to this from just reserve standpoint, how much cash is sitting in the business and available. Obviously, we use this cash to pay referees. It's a constant cycle of coming in and out. But we do, I think last year we were around, similar, maybe slightly less number, around 105 or so. So we've increased, our cash balance there, which helps us, make our payroll with the growing number of clients that we have. And then if you want to show the budget, so our proposed budget for this next year, we kind of align it with where we spend. Obviously, our big ticket items are referee pay, assigner pay, and then that's the biggest part of our expenses. I did increase taxes a little bit, for this next year. Our payment processing fees have gone up just because we've implemented bill.com. So our clients can pay via credit cards and ACH payments. There's just a little bit of increased fees associated with that in addition to the software. And then we increased our mentoring bucket. I think we were at about 5K to 6K. We almost doubled that for this upcoming year. And everything else is fairly in line with where things have been in the past. Up the insurance as well a little bit, just because they up it every single year and we don't really have a choice. And L&I and taxes, that all just runs basically with our book of business, which percentage of revenue. So that's where those things sit. Happy to take any questions. We'll post those up on the website for you. If you don't want to ask questions here, you're more than welcome to ask later. The other thing I do want to just speak to in regards to the treasurer report is, we've been working toward and we'll be discussing at our next board meeting going to paying twice a month. And so this continues to be a focus, for us. Obviously we want to retain our referees and we don't want to lose them to fast food jobs because they pay more frequently. And so starting, we'll make the decision here in February. We think we're sitting in a cash position where that is now possible. And so I hope that we get that approval we can move forward with that this year. It's been something that's been a goal for us for a long time. So.
I've got a question about the checking accounts.
Yes.
It looked like that there was one that was SKCRA, South King County, and one for NSO. Are we gonna switch to just one?
That is it's been a painful process to move those, to be honest. We will, because of some contracts that sit outstanding, like with City of Federal Way, we have to transition our business name with them, like under city guidelines. We're actually in a doing business as scenario where we're now Northwest Soccer Officials and we have a DBA as SKCSRA. So we will consolidate those accounts. That account will actually get closed this month. I'm going to write the check to deposit into the other SKCSRA checking account. We will have an SKCSRA checking account and an NSO checking account, probably for the remainder of 2023 until that until those contracts all get updated with the cities. And it's only because they will not, like Bank of America actually would not deposit a check to SKCSRA into a Northwest Soccer Officials account when it's made out to that business. So, which shouldn't be the case, but it is. It's not worth the headache.
Okay, any other questions?
I had another question about switching to twice a month. How much extra work does that create for our treasurer, which right now is Ryan Meeks?
Yeah, it's going to be, we've been doing a lot of work to streamline those processes. And so a big part of it is keeping the QuickBooks file and the NSO site in sync. And so I'm implementing the last few changes here this month with Mick at Ridgestar and Elmer. And then once that happens, it's going to help streamline that and bring that down to just a few minutes. The bigger issue, honestly, is whether it's twice a month or once a month. The more time consuming thing is when people put in the wrong information. So they put in their banking debit card number, or they put their routing number as their account number. Like, there's more time spent chasing those things down than there is in the actual process of paying the referees. And we're not going to actually bill the clients anymore frequently. So we're going to still bill the clients once a month. And so it's not going to double that work. It's really just increasing one extra, file and sync with our payment processor. So not too bad.
Okay, any other questions?
There's a question about, are we increasing fees to the clubs? I think that's Ryan, if you're comfortable.
So yeah, so on a client by client basis, the assigners work with them to, adjust fees. We typically will send an email out. And Richard probably knows better all the different clients that have increased, their fees, over the last year. I know we've done some stuff with WPL. I know that we're working on, some work with Starfire for the next year's summer tournaments. We have upped the fees with Eagle Claw and Dragons and OL Reign. They adjust theirs based on their league, but it's a client by client basis. And so, yes, I think across the board, most of the fees have been increased. And so you'll see that directly on your accounting page. If you compare what you did this year to last year for a game, you're more than likely making more.
Yeah, I would say in the last year, most of the clients have increased their match fees in 2022. And we've increased them from anywhere from 5 to 10%.
I've got a question about what was just said. Does this mean that each club has, or each client has the option to set their own game fees?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, that gets us to the open forum portion of our agenda gives anybody an opportunity to bring up any questions, comments, suggestions. What can NSO do better to serve the referees?
In my opinion, is it okay just to speak up?
It's open.
All right. Well, just want to make sure I'm not butting in, sorry. In my opinion, I think what NSO could do better, I think they're doing a fantastic job. But I think it's the same challenge, not just with NSO, but with all of the referee organizations, is to get the new referees, somebody to watch them on their first match as an AR and their first match as a center as much as possible. I think that's a metric that we should probably measure and try to, and set some sort of metric to try and do that as much as possible, because it's really hard for referees to get out there the first time. And if they have a tough time the first time, it's really hard to retain them. So that's my only thought.
I would piggyback on that if I may. Maybe this goes through the youth referee directors, but I worked with a number at this recent the Winter Classic, and a lot of them was their first couple games that they'd worked, and there's such a big disparity between watching the game and knowing what you should do to actually having to get out and do it. And so and the class only shows you so much, but so I don't know if you can try and make sure that they are aware of all the options, aware to them of mentoring is completely an option. It just, all you have to do is ask, and someone will be out there to help you, and just let them know all of the resources that are available to them.
I'll add a few things, Richard. I think as part of the referee training, to include how to navigate the website. I think for me as a new ref, you're just kind of, it's baptism by fire. There was really no guidance on what you had to fill out, your profile, how to file a match report. The first yellow card I gave, what do I do? It was just I got an error because I couldn't file it. Just stuff like that I didn't know I had to do. That would have been helpful from the beginning. And also from the mentor part, that was definitely very helpful to hear the different advice from the mentors. But I think I had Paul 4 times, and Paul's great, but I'm hearing the same voice. So it'd be nice to have, if you're going to be assigned a mentor, to have a diverse set of voices or opinions. I think Jonathan McKenzie I had once was great. Helene was awesome. But a variety of different advice is also good.
Yep.
So Katie, to answer your first portion of that, there is a document that exists on how to navigate the website. It is not an official one because it is one that I made. And it may or may not be outdated, but it exists. It's just about getting that kind of a document out to the referees on a more consistent basis.
And is that document on the website?
That's a great question. I have no idea.
Yeah, and even if it was, a new referee wouldn't know it's on the website to navigate there. So yeah, so for these new referees, just somehow part of the training to know where to go and I don't know, just a longer list of a checklist of things to do as orientation wise. Yeah.
I know that me and Cameron bring that document with us to any entry-level clinic that we either are instructing at or helping out with, whether it's MRFC hosting it or whether we're actually instructing the clinic itself. We bring that document and hand it out to the referees, because even though it may not pertain to their area, it definitely helps out. But if it's just 2 of us, it's not exactly going to help the larger population of new referees.
Right, and maybe the director of referee training or education. I remember when I got certified, I got an email from Duncan with all the links to the various organizations. That was helpful. Maybe a link in that email. Here's how to navigate the various websites and what you need to do to get started. That would have been helpful because all I got was just a link, and then I signed up. But then once I signed up, I didn't know what to do or how to fill out a match report. Or once I gave my first yellow card, I couldn't file because I had to file a supplemental report or something like that. I don't know. I eventually learned throughout the year because I went to all the trainings every month, but it took a while to get up to speed.
Great, thanks, Katie. That's some great feedback.
Yeah.
Any other opportunities that the referees see that NSO could do better or like to see us do in 2023? Okay. It's silent, so I'm not sure there's anything else. Jeremy, is there anything you want to close us out with tonight?
No, this has been a great, almost 2 hours. Thanks for the time. Thanks for being part of it. Thanks for all you do out there on the pitch and your participation like this on a random Monday in January is much appreciated. So anytime you all want to come and visit on our board calls, you're more than welcome. Just reach out to me and we'll get you hooked up.
Great, thanks everyone. Have a good evening and we'll see you out on the pitch soon.
Great.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.